today on April 14th, 1994, on Thursday, when Israel is celebrating Independence Day. We're going to speak about 4 generations in our family from Dad's side, Salomon Rosenblum. Beginning with the first generation, Shmuel Cohen, the son of Yosef Cohen, married Rosa Nadler, the daughter of Avraham Nadler, in Panchu, Romania. This is Rosa Nadler around the time when she got married. Shmuel and Rosa Cohen. These are 2 pictures of Shmuel Cohen in Romania. On the left, he's holding a squirrel in his hand. Shmuel had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. His brothers were Lazar and Chaim, and his sisters were Razel and Sarah. Rosa had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. Bernard and Yanku were her brothers, and Yeti and Malka were her sisters. Rosa's sister, Malka, or Malchin. This is Rosa's sister, Yeti. Along the same generation, from Avram Rosenblum's side of the family, Salomon the son of Yitzchak Rosenblum, married Rivka Malka, the daughter of Menachem Mendel, in the first decade of the 20th century. Rebecca had a sister Mina, who married Azriel Malkus. Shmuel and Rosa Cohen had 6 children who were in the 2nd generation. These are their 6 children. The oldest of the 6 was Chaim Leib, who was born in 1912. Because of the anti-Semitism in Romania, he changed his name to Liviu. The 2nd and oldest in the family is Shelley. She was born in around 1913. Around 1916, Isa was born. In 1919, Sophie, they call her Fika, was born. She was the 4th and the oldest. Around 1921, Nela was born. In 1928, the youngest of the Cohen children was born, Bekutza. Malka married David, and they had 3 children in the 2nd generation, Anna, Chari, and Jenny. Anna on the right married Fico on the left. Jenny on the right married Mickey on the left. And this is Chari with his wife. Yeti, Rosa Nadler's sister, got married to Mauricio. Here's a picture of Yeti and Mauricio with the 2 of their 3 children of the 2nd generation, Ashela and Gisela. Yeti's oldest daughter, Gisela, got married, and on their way to Israel, they were killed in the ship Struma, which was drowned on its way to Israel. Gisela's younger sister was Roshela, who married Zechariah. The youngest of the 3 was Zisu. Here's a picture of Zisu in later years. And this is Zisu's wife. From Avram Rosenblum's side of the family, Zalman and Rivka had 7 children in the 2nd generation. The first daughter was Hannah, who married Henry Tziperman. Their 2nd daughter was Yeti, who passed away before she got married. Another daughter, Lily, married Yosef Fischer. Another sibling was Strul, and he was killed in the First World War in 1919. Another sibling is Betty. Here is a picture of Betty in her later years with her husband, Avraham Abes. Another sibling was Avram Rosenblum. This is another picture of Avram Rosenblum on the left with his friend. And here we connect the family tree from the 2 sides of the family. Avram Rosenblum on the right married Sophie Fika Cohen in around 1941 in Focșani in Romania. And the youngest daughter of the Rosenblum family, of the 7 children, was Sophie, who she got married to Yankovic and she got divorced. Here is a picture of 4 of the 7 children in the Rosenblum family. From left to right is Lily, then Betty. Sitting down below everyone is Sophie, and on the right, the boy is my grandfather, Avram Rosenblum, as a little child. Here is a picture of Betty on the left and Avram on the right in the second decade of the 20th century. And here's a picture of Avram on the left with his sister Betty on the right after tens of years of not seeing each other at Ada's bat mitzvah. Ada is Betty's granddaughter. This is in the 9th decade of the 20th century, around 1986. Now we return to the children of Shmuel and Rosa Cohen in the second generation. These are the Cohen brothers at a later age. On the top from right is Levi, on the top left is Nelu, on the bottom from left is Becca, the middle is Fika, and on the right is Shelley. Izu, the sixth brother, passed away, and this picture was taken on Shelley's visit to Israel in my home in Tzahala. Levi, the eldest of the Cohen brothers, married Tutsa. Here's a picture at their wedding, Levi and Tutsa, in 1940 or 1941, or around that time. Shelley, the second eldest, married David Kru. David Kru had a sister, Marie Kru. Marie married Yanku Rizzo. The third of the Cohen brothers was Izu, and he married Surika. The fourth was Fika Cohen. Fika Cohen married Avram Rosenblum. Avram and Fika Rosenblum married in 1941, and that's where we connect the family trees. Nelu married Shelley. Here they are at the wedding. Becca, the youngest of the 6 Cohen brothers and sisters, married Butsu Pascal. This is a picture of Becca and Butsu at their wedding, with Rosa Cohen on the right bottom, and behind her, her husband, Shmuel Cohen. This picture was taken a few years before Rosa Cohen passed away. Fika Cohen, on who this family tree is surrounding, was born in Panchu. Here are a few pictures of where she was born and where she lived until a year before she got married in Fukshan. Here was the Getze Hotel in the center of the city. This is what the city looked like after an earthquake in 1940, where the entire city collapsed. In this house, Marie Rizzo, which was then Marie Kru, survived when the whole house collapsed, and she barely survived. They found her under the roof, which had crumbled. After the earthquake, the legionaries came and they kicked out all the Jews from the city. And in 24 hours, Fika and her family came to the new city where they would live in Fukshan. This was a theater in Fukshan. In Fukshan, Fika met Avram Rosenblum and married him. Here's a little summary. In the center of this picture, in the middle row, are sitting Shmuel and Rosa Cohen. In the back, from the left, is Tutsa with her husband Levi, then Surika with her husband Izu, and then the couple on the right in the back is Shelley with her husband David Kru. On the first row, sitting on the ground, is from left Fika, in the middle Becca, and on the right Izu. They were not married. And on Rosa Cohen's lap, who's sitting in the middle, the baby is Shmuel and Rosa's first grandchild, Stelutza, the daughter of Shelley and David Kru. This is a big picture of the family. In the back row from left is David Kru with his wife Shelley. To her right is Levi with his wife Tutsa. To her right is Avram Rosenblum with his wife Fika. On her right is Izu with his wife Surika. And on her right, the child standing is Dali. In the middle row, sitting down, is Bikutza. The boy standing before her is Sorin, Rosenblum. Behind him, sitting next to Becca, is Rosa Cohen, his grandmother. On her right is Shmuel Cohen, her husband. The child standing before him is Matei, David and Shelley's child. Standing behind him is Nelu. In the front row, sitting down from left, is Maryan, Livio and Tutsa's son. On his right, sitting on the ground, is Telutsa, David and Shelley's daughter. On her right is Vili, Avram and Fika's son. On his right is Dita, Livia and Tutsa's daughter. And on her right, on Dita's right, is Karlika Rizel. He is the son of David Cruz's sister. In this picture we see three of the Cohen children with their spouses. On the left is Shelley, and next to her is her husband, David Cruz. In the middle is Izu with his wife, Surika, and on the right is Levi with his wife, Tutsa. This is a picture in 1984 in our house in Tzahala in Israel, with 5 of the Cohen children after Izu passed away. On the first row, sitting down, is from left Becca, in the middle Fika, and on the right Shelley, who was visiting Israel from the States, and in the back from the left is Nelu, and on the right Liviu. At the same time, there is another picture of family. On the front row on the left is Butsu with his wife Becca, to his right. To Becca's right is Fika. To her right is Shelley. On Shelley's right is Tamar, Maryan's daughter, and on her right is Tutsa. Behind Tutsa is Beatrice, Sandy and Dita's daughter. On her left is Liviu, Tutsa's husband. On his left is Avram Rosenblum. On his left is Nelu. On his left is Shelley, Nelu's wife. This is in a big family reunion in November 1984 when Shelley came to Israel. This takes place in Tzahala, in our house in Israel. And it's very hard to describe all the people in this picture, so I'll go from person to person, starting from Shelley in the bottom left corner of the picture. Behind Shelley is her sister Becca, and on her right is Nelu. Before Nelu is Tutsa. On Tutsa's right, the boy sitting is Silviu. Now, Silviu is blocking Avram Rosenblum's face, but by identifying other pictures, that sweater is Avram Rosenblum. And on his left, to the right of, to his left, which is on the right of his picture, is Fika. Before Fika is the little boy is Adam, Maryan's son, and to the right of Adam is Tamar, which her head is facing backwards, so we can't identify. To the right of Tamar, in front of Tamar is Maryan. In front of her, the man sitting down is Maryan, and behind him is apparently Tzvika, which is Vili and Dasi's boy. Behind Tzvika is Dasi, who's holding a baby to the left of her, and that's Shir. To the right of Dasi, sitting down, is Miriam, Sorin's wife, and on her right is Barak, and on his right, whose hand he's got over the shoulder, is Eyal. They're twins. And on Miriam's lap is Dana, the Barak and Eyal's little sister. Behind Miriam is Dita, standing with Sandy to the right of her. On the left of Dita is Sorin, with his wife to his left, to his right, on the left of the picture, Rodika. And Rodika and Sorin Rodika is holding a baby, and that's Yaniv. To the left of Rodika is Liviu. Behind Liviu is Vili. His face is only half visible. And to the left of Vili right under the branch, is apparently Shlomit, Vili's daughter. Standing around the tree on top, the child wearing the red is Beatrice. Before her is Beatrice is Sandy and Dita's daughter. Before her, in front of her, is Shelley, Nelu's wife, and to the left of her is Anna, her daughter. To the left of her is Rodika, and behind Anna, which is on the right of Rodika, standing in back, is Moshe, Rodika's husband. And behind Rodika, on the top left corner of the picture, is Butzu, Becca's husband. And this is a big picture of a family reunion. This picture was also taken on Shelley's visit to Israel in 1984. On the left is Nelu. To the right of Nelu and back of him is Liviu. To the right of Liviu and back of him is Marianne, standing in front of the tree. In the front row, to the right of Nelu, in front of Liviu, is Fika, standing with Shelley, her sister. Behind Shelley is Butzu, Becca's husband. To the right of Shelley and Butzu is Shelley, Nelu's wife, and to her right is Tutsa, Liviu's wife. Standing before Tutsa is Surika, who was the wife of Izu before he passed away, and to her right is Becca. This is a picture taken in Israel around 1963 or 1964. In the front, with her back faced to the camera but her face showing, is Fika. On her left is Avram Rosenblum. Behind him is Shmuel Cohen. He was on a visit to Israel to see his children, and during the visit in Israel he became sick. He later returned to Romania, and a short while later he passed away. This is one of the last pictures taken of him. To the right of Shmuel Cohen is Izu. To the right of Izu is Nelu. To the right of Nelu, standing up, is Shelley, and before her is Rodika. And on the right of the picture is Surika, Izu's wife. In May 1991, while Avram Rosenblum was sick, family visited him. On the left of the picture, in back, is Shelley, and in front of her, Shelley is Nelu's wife, and in front of her is Becca. To the right of Becca is Fika, Avram's wife, and in back of her is Avram, her husband. To the right of Avram is Nelu. To the right of Nelu is Liviu. The woman with the arm around Liviu is Dita, and to Dita's left, on the right side of the picture, is Tutsa, Liviu's wife, and sitting in front is Karolika, David Cruz's nephew. Also on May 91, in this picture is from the left Avram Rosenblum. Then to the right in front is Fika, his wife. To her right is Nelu, her brother, and to the right of Nelu is Liviu, his brother, and to Liviu's brother, to the right of Liviu is Becca, his sister. Several months after that, in November 11th, 1991, Avram and Fika Rosenblum celebrated their 50th golden anniversary. Behind them are pictures of all their 6 grandchildren. A few months later, in May 1992, Avram Rosenblum passed away. From these couples, we enter into the 3rd generation from the Cohen family. From these couples are born children who form the 3rd generation of this family tree. We begin the 3rd generation with the children of Liviu and Tutsa, Liviu Cohen and his wife Tutsa. Between Liviu and Tutsa is Marianne on the right and Dita on the left. In later years, here's Marianne Cohen and Dita Cohen. Marianne married Irina, and Dita married Sandy Schwarzenberg. Shelley and David Crew had 2 children. First came Stelutza, then Matei. Here is Stelutza and Matei in later years. Stelutza married Kali Christian and standing up, and sitting down in front of them are Shelley and David Crew, Stelutza's parents. Matei Crew married Luminitza. Izo and Surika never had any children. The children of Vika Cohen and Avram Rosenblum will be discussed in the generation of the Rosenblum family. Nelu and Shelley had 2 girls. First came Rodika standing by Nelu, and later came Anna sitting by Shelley. Rodika, and this is Anna. Rodika married Moshe Moskovitz, and Anna is still single. Becca and Butsu Pascal had a boy and a girl. Eugene on top and Rodika on bottom. Eugene Pascal and Rodika Pascal. Eugene Pascal married Sarah. Rodika married Sorin Stulero. David Crew, who married Shelley Cohen, had a sister, Marie Crew, and she married Yanku Rizal on the right of the picture. On the left of the picture is Marie Rizal, and they had 2 children, Karolika and Matei Rizal. Karolika married Rosika. Hannah and Henry Tziperman had 2 daughters, Rosetta on the right and Rennie on the left. Rosetta married Shimon Salomon, and Rennie married Mesh Klein. Betty Rosenblum married Avram Abes, and they had 1 boy. Their son, Dali Abes, married Zefina. Avram Rosenblum was the fifth of the Rosenblum brothers and sisters, and Fika was the 4th of the Cohen brothers and sisters. But because the focus of the family tree revolves around them, we put their story over here. Avram and Fika Rosenblum had 2 boys. First was Sorin, the tall one on the left, and later was Vili, the shorter one on the right. On February 28, 1962, the Rosenblum family made Aliyah to Israel. A few months later, in November, they moved to their new apartment in Bat Yam. Here are Sorin and Vili on the first day at their new apartment in Bat Yam. Sorin was 17 and Vili was about 15 or 16. Vili was in the army during the 67 war, the 6-Day War. On August 9, 1973, a few months before the 1973 war, Vili married Dasi. Here, Sorin, still single, stands with Vili in the middle and his wife Dasi. Here is Sorin standing in the middle in the army. In the army, Sorin changed his name from Sorin Rosenblum to Ran Raviv. In 1975, Sorin married Miriam. These are the Cohen cousins before Nelu, the older man in the middle, before he got married. On the far right is Sorin Rosenblum. To the left of Sorin is Matei Crew. Behind Matei Crew, a little bit to his right, is Dita Cohen. Behind Dita, to her right, is Stelutza Crew. In front of Stelutza is Nelu, who was still single, and on Nelu's lap is Eugene Pascal. On the top left corner is Marianne Cohen, and to the right of Marianne is Karolika, which was David Crew's nephew, or Stelutza's cousin, and before Marianne, on the bottom left corner, is Vili Rosenblum. And this is the end of the third generation. These are the cousins in the third generation. On the right side are the cousins from Avram Rosenblum's side. In the middle, Sorin and Vili are from Rosenblum and Cohen. And on the left side are the cousins from the Cohen side that make up, and all of these cousins make up the fourth generation. The cousins got married and had children, which form the fourth generation. Rosetta and Shimon Solomon had 2 kids, Arya on the right and Aviva on the left. Arya Salomon married Yonit, and Aviva married Hanan Eshed. Lenny, who married Mesh Klein, which you don't have a picture of, had a boy, Adrian. Adrian Klein married Sanda. Dali and Zefina had a boy and a girl. On the right is Andy, and on the left is Ada. This is a picture of Andy's bar mitzvah, who's standing in the middle back behind Fika, and he's with his family. And this is a picture of Ada at her bat mitzvah with her parents. Sorin and Vili Rosenblum will be discussed when we speak about the Cohen family. Marianne and Irina had a boy and a girl, Adam and Tamar. Dita and Sandy had a boy and a girl, Silvio and Beatrice. Stelutza and Kali had a boy and a girl, Danuta and Adrian. Adrian married Eli, and Danuta married Yuval. Matei and Lumunitza had 1 boy, David. Here he's older at the bar mitzvah. Moshe and Rodika Moskovitz had 2 girls, Chen on the right and Sapir on the left. Anna is still single. She's still Anna Cohen. Eugene and Sarah had 2 boys. Tommy is the bigger one on the right, and Jonathan is the smaller one in the middle. Rodika and Sorin had a boy and a girl, Yaniv on the left and Shirley on the right. Karolika, who was David Cruz's nephew, and his wife, Rosika, had 1 boy, Robbie. Matei Rizel, Karolika's brother, had 1 daughter. Vili and Dasi Rosenblum had 3 children, a boy and 2 girls. In this picture, from left is Tzvika and his bar mitzvah, the eldest. To the right of Tzvika is Dasi. To the right of Dasi is Shlomit, the second oldest. To the right of Shlomit is Vili, and in Vili's left arm is Shir, the youngest of the 3 children. Sorin and Miriam had 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. First came the twins. On the right is Eyal, and on the left is Barak. And later came Dana. And with this we finish the 4th generation. In the 5th generation, Aviva from Rosenblum and Hanan Eshed had 2 girls, Karen and Adar. Also from the Rosenblum side, Aviva's brother Ali, Salomon, and Ronit had 2 children, Liron and Moran. Around the time that this film was being made, the eldest of the Cohen brothers, Leviu, who in the picture is on the far left, passed away. From the side of the Cohen family, Stelutza's daughter, Danuta, and her husband Yuval had the first child from the Cohen family in the 5th generation. Because they named her Livia, since she was born in the same week that her grandmother's uncle, Leviu, passed away. Much thanks goes to my grandmother, Fika Rosenblum, for the pictures and the stories about the roots and generations of this family tree.